What's up? I don't know. I don't know, but I've been told the feeling woman ain't got no soul. Anyway, what do you think? What do you think? Huh? I think, uh, sometimes it's all a bunch of hogwash. No, I'm just kidding. Um, so let's talk about God. Let's talk about God, God within. Let's not get too smart about ourselves. You know, man thinks he knows. You know what I mean? Like, you see all the man thinks he knows what God is or what we are. Or like, oh, I'm a divine being. Yeah, I'm divine. I'm a divine being. Yeah, I'm perfect. I'm made in the image of God, my creator. Because I know that I didn't come from some rock, some dang rock that just smashed into another rock, and then boop, there comes Ian talking, looking, breathing, all this stuff, all intricate. You know, I know I didn't come from a rock. I might have parts of rocks in me or something, whatever. I flew in from outer space and decided to land inside of some woman that I picked. You know, who knows? God knows. God knows. And the hardest part I think about life is when we start to question, when you start to question where you come from. Because Jesus said himself, he says, unless you are like one of these, you certainly cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. What does that mean? He said, innocent like a child. Innocent like a child. Meaning, I believe, innocent, like I believe the word of God. I believe the creator of the heaven and earth. I believe that, that I'm here for a specific reason. I'm here. I believe that there's a reason we're here. It's simple. Like I don't have to overthink it. I don't have to figure it out. I just have to be myself, be who I'm here to be. Whether that be this guy, that guy, or another. Like, who's to say? Who's really to say that that God doesn't murder? What? Oh my gosh, that's sacrilegious. Don't dare say that. What? If you don't think God murders, dude, or kills, then I don't know. What's wrong with you? If you don't think that God, what? What are some things that you wouldn't think that God would do? Oh, he wouldn't let you know women and children and those things, bad things happen to good people, right? Well, God doesn't want any of that. He doesn't want any of that to happen. Why would he want that to happen? He created it. A lot of people use that as an excuse to say, oh well, God, I don't want to serve a God that will allow those things to happen. Well, he also allowed you to have free will. Free will. And your free will says you could do whatever you want. He created you. Be your person. If you want to be separated from the guy who made you, then so be it. I'm giving you that free will. And that in itself is love. That gives you the opportunity to be whoever you want to be, even if it has nothing to do with him. He gave you that free will. That's love in itself. Pretty amazing to think of it that way, huh? He let you decide from day to day what you're gonna do and what you're gonna say, and all he asks is that you love your neighbor as you love yourself, and you live a life in harmony with the world that he gave you. Enjoy the animals, enjoy the trees, enjoy the water, the ocean, the grass, enjoy the trees, utilize all that stuff. Don't abuse it, because it's all a privilege. I mean, life is created to enjoy, not to destroy. And, hence, my path towards, my refound rebirth in God's universe. You know what I mean? I definitely didn't okay. So when I first became a believer, I was like 28 years old already. Like I knew there was a God. I didn't know who he was or what his name was or anything like that. I didn't know anything about him. And so, with that being said, it's like I come and they say this is the Word of God, and they show it to me, and I spent a couple years doing nothing but learning about God, doing youth ministry, doing, casting out demons and studying his word day and night, praying and fasting and, helping the homeless and being, being a productive member of that community of God, a disciple of God's, and when I heard the word, when I read the Psalms and I read the Proverbs, I realized, yeah, this is truth, right? This is truth. These words that I'm reading are nourishing my body right now. They're like a breath of fresh air. Like, this is actually divine words of wisdom, and these are things that I've noticed, but I just couldn't put into words until I actually read the words. And then I said, well, this is it. So I every night I would pray, God, show me your face, show me your face, show me who you are. Let me see your light. Let me see your glory. Let me, and I would see his face in other people. I would see his face in little kids running and playing soccer, or just doing the thing. Or I'd see him in mom in her love for her child. Or I'd see him in the dad that goes and snatches that kid out of the street before a car runs over him. You know what I mean? I would see God love everywhere. And when you look through those God-colored lenses, it makes life a little bit more enjoyable, and that's pretty much what we want to, what we're all trying to attain is, just a life of peace and tranquility. And unfortunately, there's people that like to take advantage of the pure spirited people, and the naivety of of certain books because they're simple. They're not worried about. Not everyone worries about, getting robbed or getting beat up because we're all just enjoying life. And only the ones that are taken from other people are the ones that we're taken from, and it's just sad because when when you actually do hear when you hear for the first time the truth, of when you hear the truth, when you see the truth, when you see the love in humanity, when you see the light, and you see the light of a person's countenance, it's just unbelievable. I remember the first person who told me about a person's aura. What's an aura? And he said, okay, so when you look at a person and you see their body and you see their silhouette, right? And they're in the light, they're in the sunlight, or even in a dim room, it's fine. But you look at the person, but you look just beside the person's head or their body or whatever, and you'll see the energy radiating off of them. A lot of people would say that's heat or just energy waves, but no, those are actually the generator of your body, your spirit, your soul, and that in those that aura is the same aura you see when a woman is pregnant. All of a sudden she looks like she's glowing and she's got life in her, and she's just beaming with this life force that you're like, wow, that's completely noticeable. That's what your aura does, and that aura is brighter or dimmer according to the things that we do, the thoughts we think, the 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 things we hear, the foods we eat, the the things we put in our physical bodies. There's a spiritual light that we have. There's a physical light that we have. There's a mental light that we have. There's a you know eternal light that we have. There's all these different parts of the rainbow, right? The rainbow, or the rainbow of light that surrounds each one of our auras. And you see it when you really look for it. You see it when you look at a person without a judgment. When you look at humanity in a way through a lens of purity. It's like we all look at a young little guy crawling around on the floor, little monster, right? He's just jamming around. He's got a big old head, and he just got born. He don't even know how to walk yet, but he's trying like it. He's scooting his butt around the ground, right? And you look at him and you just laugh, right? Because it's so innocent and pure. He don't know any better, But he's so cute. He's just a little guy, dude. And he's so smiley and happy and free. That's what your Creator wants for you. We've all seen that one, quote unquote goofy guy going, just laughing his ass off, right? And you're like, whoa, man, that guy's just loving life right now, dude. That's great, and you like look at him, and you can't help but go like, what's he doing that makes him so happy and free and innocent? Like, what's going on in his life? Like, those are the things that we should like hold up on a pedestal. Those are the attitudes and the things that we should look to emulate, because those are people with purity of heart, with a zealous for life, a joy, a freedom that that you can only get through innocence. And unfortunately, the world doesn't want us to be innocent. It wants us to be productive and blah 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 and this and this and this and this. That's not the way God intended it at all. He didn't intend for us to have a bunch of jobs and trade our time for money and uh, do all these things. He said, "Be fruitful and multiply." So to me, that means, man, I got everything I need. I can have as much sex as I want. I can multiply, multiply, multiply. That's a good thing, right? We all like that. But, and he didn't even really have, he only had one law. One rule. Don't eat of that tree. Because that tree right there will separate you from me. That's all he said. Don't do that. And that's it. That was the only law. Then what happened? There was a war in heaven, all that kind of stuff, and boom, came down the friggin' serpent. Lucifer, the most beautiful angel they made, right? Most beautiful angel, they say. He was a light bearer. So what's that mean? What's a light bearer? Well, basically whenever there was, something going on up in heavens, man, Lucifer was a light bearer. He was the one that says, "Hey, come here. Whoop whoop. God's right here, man. Come over through this gate. On the east gate, the ninth gate, the concert's over here, And he's a light bearer. He's like God's right hand man. And, and so when he created you and me and created the earth, right? Lucifer wasn't having it, dude. He's like, I'm beautiful, dude. I'm the right hand man. Me. That should be mine. He should have made that for me, because I'm right here. I always lift God up. That should have been mine. He created this human being. He's not even angelic. He can't fly, or he don't have wings like me. And it's like, well, yeah, but you have me, God said. And that just wasn't enough for Lucifer. So what did he do? He said, no, hey, Joe. Don't you see all the work I do? Don't you think that God should have made that? He's just holding us down. He's not giving us the things that he's given everybody else. They have their own world, their own planet. Why can't I have that? Started a fight, man. Gotten people on his side. Started a fight, and they got kicked out of heaven, man. They got kicked out of the glory, out of the presence of the Lord. Unfortunately, he got cast out of the sky, and he landed on our planet, my planet. What happened then? Well, he beguiled. What is beguiled? Beguiled is took advantage of in a sexual way. So what happened? So yeah, there was Adam, the dude, and then there was Eve. Well, okay, that's cool. So why didn't he go after Adam? Well, because Adam couldn't produce babies, right? But Eve could. So if he was angry with God, the best thing he could do is spoil that seed. I'm gonna mess up the whole seed of God. I'm gonna spoil it. I'm gonna make it my seed, and everything on this world is gonna be through my bloodline. Well, yeah. I mean, hence Cain and Abel, one good, evil, God and the devil, right? God, whatever, light and dark. So the light countenance, the pure, the holy, the image of the Creator, and then the image of the created, the darkness, the blasphemer, the liar, the deceiver, the one that, and so hence this fight for good and evil, or purity and light or dark, or whatever it is, however you want to explain that. And then there you go. So what happened next? So then we got God, we got Cain and Abel. They're running around playing like little brothers and stuff. We fight like crazy, right? Well, one came from Lucifer and one came from God. What happened? Lucifer, the one that hated God, smashed his brother on the head with a rock, killed him. And then when God comes, because at the time, God was walking him, would come and talk to people, talk to us and see us. Well, and he goes, hey, where's your brother? And he goes, what, am I my brother's keeper? I'm not supposed to look after him, dude. That's my mom's job. He goes, dude, your brother's blood cries out to me. Because that blood is part of God. It's God's blood pumping through his veins. So when he killed him, he thought he did it in secret. No, dude, that DNA, that's just God called out to him. The blood of his own blood is pouring out at that point. And he goes, whoa, your brother's blood cries out to me. I feel it, and that's, you and me, the bloodline, the purity of God lives inside of us. It's his blood is coursing through our veins. His spirit is
Babe, I need your help.
riding right inside of us. Hold on a minute, I gotta help with this wallpaper stuff. Hold on. Alright, so I forgot what I was saying. I got a little break. Anyway, doing this little wallpaper thing, gummer jigger behind them. Yeah, backsplash. Yeah, so I was talking about the purity of just being, being who we're supposed to be or whatever we're supposed to be, according to our gifts, like some of us are just gifted, athletes, some of us are gifted builders, some of us are gifted, drawers or painters or singers or all those things. And, when we, with those talents and gifts, those are, those are our gifts that we have that we can utilize to create, provide for our families with. And those are things that get lost when there's so many options out there. It's like, oh, well, what am I doing? What am I going to do for a living? It's like, no, do what you're good at. Because then you don't have to worry about, whether you like it or not. Because you just do what you like, you get paid for it, and you're just great. It's all great. It's just when we we're warmed up and, and we got so many options and so many this and that and this and that and this and that, and then now we pick something that we think will make money, but we're not happy. And that's the trick, to life. It's just, they say if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. So what did you love doing as a kid? What were you good at as a kid? Why don't you just do that as an adult? Right? Because, how did a job even start? Well, it started Joe Joe Plumber, Joe Builder over there built a house, right? Well, he needed a guy who knew how to paint, so he went to Picasso, and he said, Picasso, paint my house. He goes, okay, well, I'll trade you, 3 goats for it, man. I got 3 goats, and my cousin needs a goat, and blah, blah, blah. He said, oh, okay, well, I'll talk to Joe over there, and he'll hook up your cousin with a goat, and I'll give you 2 goats. And are we cool? Yeah, we're cool. Boom! Everybody did what they wanted. They got paid. They had what they needed, and that was it. Shouldn't be any much harder. God made everything pretty simple. As long as we learn to get along. If it was fair for you, it's fair for me, and I didn't take more than I needed, and and that was pretty much it. That's why I think, I don't wish that life on anybody, being homeless or whatever, but I do think that, my having, been through some of that homelessness is, it brought me back to it brought me back to a place where I can appreciate the things that I do have now. Because when you don't have just basic, simple things that you need to get through the day, and everything's worked to get that, then you start appreciating the things that are just commonplace in normal everyday society. I think a lot of the issues that we face today are because we forget how much work it took to build all this infrastructure that we have. We have this huge infrastructure, this huge city, and we take for granted the people who founded these places and the rules that we need to have to govern them, and we take all that for granted, and we get bitter, resentful because we made some bad choices, or we're not making the money that we thought we would, and blah blah blah, and then we start forgetting where how good we actually have it, and it's when we start forgetting who or where we come from is, when we start getting jacked up and, feeling like we deserve more than we actually might, I believe everybody deserves exactly what they want. But what are you going to do to get that? Do you want harmony, peace, and joy in your life? Are you willing to, take on the yoke that's easy? Use your gifts in the way that God purposed them for you. And are you going to talk to God and ask Him, what are my gifts? What gifts can I use to provide a service to the world so that I can, create a family of my own? And those are all simple questions, right? And you'll get a simple answer. It's when we start leaning on our own understanding, our own thinking, that we got from Joe Blow over there, and that worked for him, but it may not work for you. Because I'm looking at John over there, and he did this, but I don't know how to do that, but it's not going to work for me. How would I think it was going to work for me if it worked for him? I have my own set of gifts. He could tell me what he doing. He could teach me how to do that, or I could just live in my gift. Live in the gift that God gave me, and play my part in society the way God intended it. It's when we don't consider, the Creator first, and look to Him to say, "Hey, Dad, what did you put me here for?" He's going to say, "Well, I don't know. Are you happy?" "Yeah, I'm happy, but I feel like I need to give something. I need to be part of something." Well, okay, so what are you good at? Do you want to do that? I mean, what are you good at? What makes you happy? What would make you happy to do? And he'll show you the path that you should go. But it's when we start looking at John or looking at Jane and, and then getting bitter or resentful or sad, that we get off kilter of that. And then we go, oh, God, and then we're angry and we're not listening to God. We're not listening. We're out of whack. So that's pretty much uh, the world according to Ian. No, I'm just kidding. I think that's closer to the way God created us. We are children of light, man. We come from the source of creation itself, and this life should not be hard. It's only as hard as we make it, and that's it. That's it. That's all for me. I mean, I'm going on and on. About 30 minutes now. So, hey, anybody tell you that they love you today? Well, I love you. Do you love you? Do you love you? Because I love you, and I don't even know you. I don't even know you, but I love you. Do you love you? You want to know why I love you? Because you're the man. You're the woman. No, I'm not the man. You're the man. No, I just work for the man. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Oh, wait. Father God, thank you for the time that we had together. Thank you for the blessings in our lives, Father. And, if there's any one of us that is feeling lost and without a purpose, Father, that you would just put a big neon sign up and say, this is it. Okay, Father? We thank you for these things in advance, and we thank you for everything else. Love you, bye.